What if everything you're trying to fix, every ache you're begging the universe to soothe, isn't broken at all, but being meticulously, beautifully dismantled to make room for a miracle you're not yet brave enough to imagine? Let's be honest, the twin flame narrative has been wrapped in so much celestial glitter and painful mystique that it's easy to miss the quiet, subversive truth humming beneath the drama. This isn't a story about finding your missing half. That's a relic, a fairy tale that keeps you small. This is a far more radical proposition. It's about encountering a love so potent it acts as a spiritual catalyst, forcing a glorious and often inconvenient evolution you secretly signed up for lifetimes ago. The signs aren't hidden in the blissful merge, but in the sacred rubble of your old life and the profound peace you discover when you stop rebuilding it their way. So, take a breath. What if the pain isn't a sign you've lost the path, but the clearest proof you're finally on it? Let's talk about timing. Not the kind you find in a rom-com where two people bump into each other at a coffee shop, spilling lattes and exchanging witty banter under the soft glow of perfectly strung fairy lights. No, I mean cosmic timing. The kind that feels less like a gentle nudge and more like the universe grabbing you by the shoulders, giving you a good shake and saying, "Sweetheart, the life you've so carefully built, we're going to need to take a sledgehammer to the foundation for your own good." You know the feeling. You finally got the promotion. The relationship is fine. The house is tidy. From the outside, it's a postcard of stability. But inside, there's this quiet hum, this restless echo in the chambers of your heart. It's not sadness, not exactly. It's more like a spiritual homesickness. You're living a life that looks right on paper, but feels like you're wearing a sweater that's 2 sizes too small. It covers you, but you can't breathe. And just then, just when you've mastered the art of smiling through the subtle suffocation, they walk in. This is what we so often mislabel as bad timing. We meet this soul who electrifies the air, and our logical mind goes into a panic. "Not now," it screams. "The spreadsheet of my life is finally balanced. My emotional inbox is at 0. We see the connection as a threat to the fragile equilibrium we've achieved. We curse the chaos that follows, the old friendships that suddenly feel hollow, the career path that now seems like a gilded cage, the comfortable beliefs that start to crack like old plaster. We think, if this were real, if this were right, it would feel easy. It would fit neatly into my 5-year plan. But here's the mystery, the rarely spoken truth I want you to sit with. What if the chaos isn't the bug in the system? What if it's the entire point of the program? Think of your soul's journey not as a straight line, but as a spiral. You go round and round, learning similar lessons at deeper levels. You build a life, a comfortable, familiar loop on that spiral. It's safe. It's known. Then your twin flame arrives. They don't join you on your comfortable loop. No, they place a gravitational pull so potent it warps your entire trajectory, yanking your spiral into a new, wider orbit you didn't even know existed. Of course it's disruptive. You're being pulled into a greater version of your destiny. The old loop, the old life, has to fall away. It's simple physics. You can't fit an expanded consciousness into a shrunken life. This is the divine interruption. It's not a punishment. It's a promotion. The universe isn't cruel. It's efficient. It uses the most potent catalyst available, the mirror of your own soul, to force a system upgrade you've been quietly postponing for lifetimes. That person who walked in, they're the living, breathing embodiment of a forced update notification. You can click "Remind me tomorrow" for a while, but the system will keep crashing until you finally accept and install the new software. So you lose friends. Good. They were companions for the old you. So you question your job. Wonderful. You were trading time for money, not passion for purpose. So your worldview shatters. Excellent. It was a borrowed map anyway, and you're being guided to chart your own territory. The pain you feel isn't the pain of loss. It's the pain of expansion. It's the spiritual growing pains of a soul finally stretching into its rightful height. It's the universe, in its infinite, sometimes inconvenient wisdom, clearing a path not just to your twin flame, but for your highest self. The twin flame is both the cause of the demolition and the promise of the cathedral that will be built in its place. You see, we get fixated on the union, that future point of blissful togetherness. But the universe is obsessed with the preparation. The meeting is the spark. The chaos that follows is the sacred fire meant to burn away everything that isn't you. The gold doesn't mind the furnace. It knows it's being purified, not destroyed. Can you adopt that same faith? This is why the timing feels so perfectly imperfect. Your soul was ready for the fire. Your ego was just really attached to that cozy, familiar cardboard box it was living in. The joke's on us. We pray for a miracle, but we expect it to arrive in a neat package that doesn't disturb the furniture. True miracles are messy. They renovate. So the next time you look at the beautiful chaos unfolding, the ended situationships, the shifted priorities, the existential 3 a.m. questions, instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" try whispering, "Thank you. Thank you for the interruption. Thank you for the sledgehammer. Thank you for not letting me settle for a life that was merely comfortable when I was designed for one that is miraculous." Your twin flame didn't come to complete you. They came to ignite you. And you can't start a sacred fire without a little friendly arson on the old dry structures of your past. Now, if this kind of divine disruption shakes your world, you're probably wondering about the other side of the coin. What happens in the eerie quiet after the storm, when the running and chasing begins? That's where the plot thickens, and the universe plays its most fascinating card. But that's a conversation for when you're ready to see the separation not as a tragedy, but as the most loving part of the script. So here you are. The spark has been struck. The beautiful chaos has done its work, reshuffling your life like a deck of cards, thrown gleefully in the air. And now you find yourself in the quiet, aching aftermath. The connection is undeniable, a live wire humming between your soul and theirs. But physically, there's distance. There's silence. There's what the community so dramatically calls the runner-chaser dynamic. And it hurts. Oh, it scrapes against every raw, newly awakened nerve you have. Your instinct, that primal human instinct, is to close the gap, to fix, to solve, to reach. You analyze texts, replay memories, oscillate between hope and despair, trying to mentally and emotionally bridge a span that feels like an uncrossable canyon. You're pouring an ocean of your energy into a cup you can't even hold. Let me tell you something you might not want to hear, but need to feel in your bones. You are misunderstanding the assignment. This separation isn't a test of your loyalty or your pain tolerance. It's not a divine obstacle course where the prize is their attention. Think of it instead as the universe's most brutal, most loving form of occupational therapy. Your soul got a glimpse of wholeness in their mirror, but you mistakenly believed the wholeness was located in them. So, you reach. And in reaching, you confess your own emptiness. You broadcast a signal of lack, a frequency that says, I am incomplete without you. And here's the cosmic joke. The universe and your twin flame soul at a higher level will always honor that belief. If you declare you are half, you will be treated as half. The distance persists, not to punish you, but to force you to find what you're seeking within the very space that seems to be hurting you. Let's get practical, but in a spiritual way. Imagine your connection as a shared energetic ecosystem, like a garden between you. When you're in chase mode, you're frantic. You're digging up seeds every day to see if they've sprouted. You're pouring gasoline on the soil, thinking it's water, yelling at the sky for not making it rain faster. The garden becomes a muddy, distressed, energy-sucking bog. Nothing can grow there. Your twin flame, whether they're consciously running from their own pain or simply responding to the suffocating pressure of your need, is on the other side, maybe neglecting their plot entirely. The ecosystem is starved of the one thing it needs to thrive: peaceful, self-contained energy. Now the shift, the energetic vacuum. This isn't a fancy term for playing hard to get. This is the profound internal alchemy of turning your attention, that laser beam focused outward, back onto yourself with such ferocious compassion that you create a stillness, a potent, pregnant quiet in your own field. You stop digging. You stop pouring gasoline. You simply tend to your own plot. You heal the wound of abandonment by never abandoning yourself. You water your own seeds of purpose, creativity, and joy. You pull the weeds of old stories that told you you weren't enough. And as you do this, a miraculous thing happens in that shared garden. Your side becomes fertile, calm, vibrant. It starts to bloom, and nature and energy abhors a vacuum. A vacuum isn't emptiness. It's a pull. It's a law of physics. By becoming whole and still on your side, you create a silent, powerful suction toward harmony. The chaotic, frantic energy dissipates, and the only force left is the natural magnetic pull of the bond itself, now untainted by desperation. The runner isn't chased back. They are drawn back by the silent, compelling gravity of your wholeness. They may stumble into their own healing simply because the noisy static of your pain signal has ceased, allowing them to hear their own soul's cries for the first time. The dynamic shifts because you stop participating in the old dance. You sit down in the middle of the ballroom and decide to dance with your own spirit. And suddenly, the old partner has no one to step on, no one to struggle against. The music of the bond is still playing, but now it's inviting, not demanding. This is why the moment of not needing them is the moment everything changes. It's not about apathy, it's about sacred self-sufficiency. You're not saying, I don't want you. You're realizing my peace, my worth, my divinity is not a variable in your equation. It's a constant in my own. You become a sun, radiant in your own right, not a moon pleading for reflected light. And what does any celestial body do in the presence of another's stable, glorious gravity? It enters orbit, naturally and inevitably. So the pain of the chase, it's a teacher. Its final lesson is this: you cannot fill a cup from another's well when your own hands are shaking from thirst. The separation is the universe handing you a shovel and saying, darling, dig here, right where you stand. The water is under your feet. The love you seek is not a rescue mission, it's a resonance. And you can only resonate with another whole note when you stop singing from a place of lack. You stop chasing, not to win the game, but because you finally see there was never a game at all. Only a mirror and an invitation to fall in love with the one reflecting back. And when that happens, the entire script flips. The silence becomes sacred. The distance becomes spacious. The waiting becomes becoming. And you know the most interesting part of this whole vacuum phenomenon? It has a specific, almost humorous sound. It's not the dramatic symphony of reunion you might imagine. It's a much quieter, more profound note, one that most people miss because they're still listening for footsteps instead of the shift in their own heartbeat. But once you hear it, you'll realize it was the only true sound all along. So here we are, at the end of this reflection, or rather, and this is the crucial shift, at the true beginning of yours. We've wandered through the concepts of divine chaos and the alchemy of stillness. And if you've followed along, something inside you has likely shifted from a desperate need for answers to a quieter, more profound curiosity. That curiosity, that's your soul taking the wheel. Let's talk about what happens now, in this space where the seeking softens and a new kind of certainty, forged in your own fire, begins to hum. You see, the entire twin flame narrative, for all its drama and celestial fanfare, boils down to a single, elegant truth. It is a masterclass in orientation. For most of your life, you may have been taking your bearings from external landmarks, societal approval, relationship status, bank statements, the nodding heads of others. This connection, in its brutally loving way, smashes those compasses. It leaves you in a silent, featureless plane with only one reliable instrument left: the faint, steady pulse of your own soul's truth. The disruption, the chase, the silence, they were all just methods of stripping away every other navigational tool so you'd have no choice but to learn to read this one. And what does this inner compass point toward? Not merely toward another person, though that may be a joyous consequence. It points toward authenticity. It points toward the life you whispered about in daydreams, but were too timid to claim. It points toward the version of you that doesn't bargain, doesn't shrink, doesn't abandon itself for scraps of love or security. The twin flame is the lightning strike that illuminates the landscape of your own potential, showing you both the breathtaking vistas and the treacherous cliffs within yourself. The journey afterward is simply you learning to walk that landscape in the daylight, no longer afraid of your own shadows because you've finally been introduced to them. This is why the path is ultimately hopeful, not a sentence of perpetual longing. It's hopeful because it places the source of your fulfillment firmly, unambiguously within your own grasp. You are not waiting for a savior to complete you. You are in a sacred apprenticeship with your own spirit. Every tear shed from the separation waters the soil of your own resilience. Every trigger is a flare gun, highlighting a forgotten room in your inner house that needs care and light. The person on the other side of this bond is no longer a prize to be won, but a fellow traveler who, by their very existence, confirmed the existence of the map within you. The reunion, if and when it comes in the physical, is not a rescue mission concluding. It's a celebration, a rendezvous between two explorers who have each braved their own wilderness and can now share the tale, not as halves of a whole, but as two complete novels that have found a stunning parallel narrative. So what do you do now? You live, not on hold, not in a waiting room decorated with sighs and maybes. You live with a new question, not when will they return, but how can I live today in a way that honors the profound self this connection revealed? You engage with your life as the primary love affair. You create, you serve, you laugh, you build things with your hands, you heal old wounds with family, you dance in your kitchen to terrible music. You become so vibrantly, unapologetically present in your own story that the connection transforms from an anchor dragging in the past to a sail catching the wind of your current becoming. The real sign of recognition was never just the heartquake of meeting them. It is the unwavering voice, now growing stronger each day, that says, after all the analysis and pain, I am changed and I would not go back. That is your proof. That is your certification from the universe. You have been enrolled in a graduate degree in soulhood, and the diploma is the peace you feel when you look in the mirror and finally know the person looking back. This journey, in its beautiful, maddening complexity, is a love letter from existence, affirming that you are worthy of a catalyst so powerful it had to rearrange your entire world to get your attention. You are not lost. You are not behind. You are in the precise, perfect, and sometimes messy process of remembering your own name. And when you speak it, without a whisper of doubt, the entire universe leans in to listen. And you know the most comforting part of all, the work you're doing now, the peace you're cultivating, it's never wasted. It's building a foundation so solid that whatever comes next, union or continued solo flight, will be met from a place of unshakable grace. But that's a conversation about the miracles that bloom in the field of settled peace, and why the view from there makes every single step of the climb make perfect, heartbreaking sense.